that Kartamashi, he will speak, he'll read the shloka and he'll recite the purport and the translation.
Okay.
Can you mute karo na?
It's like a buy one, get one free.
Now I'm just doing my duty to him. Hare Krishna, everyone. It's nice to be part of this today's Sangha. I'll just read today's verse and translation followed by the purport, and then I'll pass the phone to my father. So we're reading from the first canto, second chapter, verse number 16. Shushusho Shaddadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra by such service one gains affinity for hearing the message of the Lord. There are men called Deva, or godly living beings, and there are men called Asuras, or demons, who are against the authority of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, a vivid description of the Asuras is given, in which it is said that the Asuras are put into lower and lower states of ignorance, life after life, and so sink to the lower animal forms and have no information of the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. These Asuras are gradually rectified to God consciousness by the mercy of the Lord's liberated servitors in different countries according to the supreme will. Such devotees of God are very confidential associates of the Lord. And when they come to save you as sons of the Lord, as servants of the Lord, or as associates of the Lord themselves. This is a blasphemy declared by also accept pretenders as God or his incarnation. In the revealed scriptures, there is definite information of the incarnation of God. No one should be accepted as God or an incarnation of God unless he is confirmed by the revealed scriptures. The servants of God are as God by the devotees who actually want to go back to Godhead. Such servants of God are called Mahatmas or Tirthas, and they preach according to particular time and place. The servants of God urge people to become devotees of the Lord. They never tolerate being called God, the indication of the revealed scriptures, but he played the part of a devotee. People who knew him to be God addressed him as God, but he used to block his ears with his hand and chant the name of Lord Vishnu. He strongly protested against being called God, although undoubtedly he was God himself. The Lord behaves so to warn us against unscrupulous men who take pleasure in being addressed as God. The servants of God come to propagate God consciousness, and intelligent people should cooperate with them in every respect. By serving the servant of God, one can please God more than by directly serving the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when he sees that his servants are properly respected, because such servants risk everything for the service of the Lord, and so are very dear to the Lord. The Lord declares in Bhagavad Gita 18:69 that no one is dearer to him than one who risks everything to preach his glory. By serving the servants of the Lord, one gradually gets the quality of such servants, and thus one becomes qualified to hear the glories of God. The eagerness to hear about God is the first qualification of a devotee eligible for entering the kingdom of God. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Yes. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Yes. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, yeah. Why can't I be on the screen? Okay. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmain Shri Guruvain Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Giram Yat Kripa Tadam Vande Shri Guru Dinatharine. I'm so sorry that today there was a miscommunication that I was going to speak. But anyway, I've gleaned my life last few years on reading the Srimad Bhagavatam and understanding it much better, thinking that it is the desire of Srila Gurudev that each and every disciple of his is very well qualified and well versed. That is what Prabhupada desired. Prabhupada said that his disciple should know his books as a lawyer knows his books, you see. Anyway, just to summarize this entire shloka, what we took for today, Prabhupada is mentioning in this Prabhupada that in the purport there are two kind of people, the Devatas and the Asuras. Devatas are the godly people and the Asuras the demanding people. Created by the close associates of the Lord, who are in very close proximity with the Lord. You see,
Namaras Prabhu, you can
they
stop the
come to
screen
this
sharing.
planet to liberate them. Ajay?
No, I'm asking Namaras Prabhu to stop the screen sharing so it takes less bandwidth.
Yeah, yeah. Even everyone mute themselves, please. So they can come as son of God, messenger of God, the servants of God, or the God himself as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You see? But some rascals, Prabhupada, in India especially, in every nook and corner, there's one guru being born now. And they call themselves as God. They proclaim themselves to be as God. And Srila Prabhupada was very much, he spoke very bluntly about it. See? Anyway, intelligent men should serve such sadhus, should serve such people when they come to this earth planet. They are sadhus, they are our spiritual masters. We should serve them. And why we should serve them? Because Krishna, as quoted by Prabhupada in the shloka today, like he's saying that, 18 by 69, na chatusmana manusreshu kashime priya kitma. He says, there's no devotee so dear to me than he, see, in this way. And this way, Krishna is pleased. Anyway, now to share my realization on today's shloka is, once Srila Gurudev called me, we were speaking on the phone, and some topic came up, and he said, nowadays many young devotees, they're giving very high-fi classes and all and all. And we came to what are the qualification of going back home, back to Godhead? So I asked Srila Gurudev, so what's the qualification of going back to Godhead? And I was mentioning a few, and Srila Gurudev said, no, that's not the qualification. Srila Gurudev said that going back to Godhead, the qualification is Guru Nishtha, and what service you can do to your spiritual master, what service you can render to the spiritual master, you see? Because this shloka is speaking about servicing, giving service to such kind of liberated souls. See? Now, what is the qualification of sadhu or a liberated soul? You see? Now, Kapil Dev, he's speaking to his mother Devuti, and he's explaining Titikshava, Karunika, Saruda, Savadeinam, Ajat Shatrava, Shanta, Sadhava, Sadhu Bhuksham. Now, these are the Titikshava, like, mercy, compassion. These are all the emblems what he's carrying, like how the soldier he's carrying all these, on his shoulders. See? And there are two lakshanas over there. One is the what I was going to say, and then Now, when we ourselves, we put ourselves attached to such kind of people, that it's a door open for liberation. Again, over here, we have this shloka, Rasangam ajanam pasam atmana khavya vidu, sa eva sadhukruta mokshadara ipan. Means, and our acharyas, like, Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they mention, like, Sangam Asakti. Sangam is association and attachment. It comes together. Sangam Asakti. And, what happens when we have such kind of association with sadhus? What happened? Satatam Sangam Mamavir Samvido Bhajanti Virit Karana Rasayana Kata. Yajosna Swaparvar Gavartmani Shada Ratir Bhaktir Anukrama Mishriti. You see? Means, by cultivating such knowledge, attachment to such kind of people, you cultivate knowledge that one becomes liberated and real devotional service begins. Shraddha means faith, Rati, attachment, and Bhakti is devotional service again. You see, this is all what is mentioned in today's class, what we're speaking. See, now, Lord Krishna has also come and given his mercy, Lord of mercy. He has walked all, in the whole of Braj Mandal, he has walked. Not only walked himself, but when he became the cows and the calves in the Brahma Lila, he has walked with the cows and the calf, means he's expanded himself 9 million times and even much more. And each cow and the calf has four hoofs. So millions and millions of feet he has walked. And he has this Braj Renu. But Krishna is not saying that. He is giving more importance to his devotee, to his self-realized devotee. A Nirpeksh Muni. Nirpeksh Muni Shantam, Nirvairyam, Samadarsanam. Anuvrajam Yam Nityam Puye Tyangri Renubir. That Krishna is saying that when he's speaking to his dear friend Uddhava in the 11th canto, he's saying, mentioning that, Krishna says that I carry this world within me. This whole world is within me. And he says that I purify myself by taking the dust from the lotus feet of such devotees. And he says that I take it on my head. And that's how he's purifying the whole world. See? And there's another because we are speaking about the Bhagavatam, I spend at least 2 hours daily reading and listening to the Bhagavatam daily. And I've been doing it for the last few years. Now, I was not so educationally qualified. I never, I didn't do much. I just passed, passed out my 12th, and I was not seriously into getting educated and all. But what our acharyas are saying, what our, spiritual masters are saying, there's one shloka in the Subhashit Ratna Bhandakar, yeah, is saying that, this is like, it says like how a gold is tested. A gold is tested. His wife is tested because when she goes, the family is going to a very tough time. And how a learned person is tested is by how he knows the Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know the shloka. I don't know the shloka. I don't know. Anyway, so as a servant of Srila Gurudev, all these years, I would like to mention one thing. This reward to me, like a reward to me, like the days when we were not doing parikrama bus and we are doing local parikramas. So that day I has to wait outside Srila Gurudev's building to open the door for him. And whenever I opened the door, Srila Gurudev was so merciful and kind and compassionate to me that he used to come and embrace me and he used to say, Narottam, you are mine. Narottam, you are mine. Narottam, you are mine. He said this on 2 different occasions, this Kartik. And it gave me a relief, like, so much relief it was like a gift for me, like for my entire Kartik. And I thought my Kartik went successful. And this reminds me of one pastime, which is there uh, in the Ramcharitamanas, when Lord Ramchandra, he was crossing the ferry and the boatman was there. No, not the boatman. Sorry, what's that? The Adivasi, the jungle man, the king. Uh, I am forgetting the name anyway. So uh, uh, Lord Ramchandra went and embraced him.
Is it Guha?
So no, Nishad Raj. His name is Nishad Raj.
Yeah, its name is Goa, brother.
Lord Ramchandra went and embraced him. And when Lord Ramchandra embraced him, with Lord Ramchandra, there was Vashishta Muni was there with him. And Vashishta Muni saw, and he also went and embraced the Nishad Raj. So there are these demigods in the sky, and they start bestowing, flowers from top. But two of the demigods, they start having an argument among themselves. He said, Are, how come Vashishta, he's the Shiromani, he's the highest among Brahmanas. How can he embrace a Shudra, like a Shudra king? Like, how can he go and embrace a Shudra? Ramchandra only embraced. So what you are talking about, Nishadras, everything, Lord Ramchandra only embraced him. So when this time Srila Gurudev embraced me, I felt, I belong to him. That's what Srila Gurudev said. जब ही थे भयो भुवन भूषण तब ही थे. You see, I'll make it short today. Today's day is very, very special. Very special. It's 10th of December, and on 10th of December, our dear Srila Gurudev, he got a letter from his spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. And in that, Prabhupada accepted him as his dear disciple. And that whole letter was read in the temple. And Srila Gurudev considered that day of 10th of December as an actual birthday. So we are going to now invite our own dear Srila Gurudev with us. Srila Gurudev.
Jai Shila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Shila Gurudev.
Accept my blessings. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm very happy to be present for this opportunity today when you have this disciples meeting, to actually be part of the meeting. You're all very dear to me, and yes, it's true. Our material birth is actually an embarrassment. It means a fall from grace, fall from the spiritual world, literally, to the material world. So, taking birth, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, for one who has taken his birth, death is certain. And for one who has died, birth is certain. You can be certain of that. You never know in this world what's going to happen, but you can be sure that taking birth, death will come, and death may birth again. So it's interesting that people celebrate their birthdays, but spiritual birth means chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And from that moment, we're infants in spiritual life under the guidance of our spiritual father, the spiritual master. So that birth we could celebrate, because one birth is a birth into ignorance, and the other birth is a birth into knowledge. And the knowledge that the spiritual master gives the disciple from the moment of initiation until the disciple reaches perfection, that's like the umbilical cord that attaches the infant, the baby in the womb, to the mother. Without that nourishment, the baby can't grow through the medium of the umbilical cord. So in the same way, without hearing and acting upon the knowledge that spiritual master gives, really one doesn't receive the nourishment required to grow in Krishna consciousness and go back home, back to God. Therefore, Prabhupada stressed that Vapu, or personal association with the spiritual master, it's actually required. Of Divya transcendental knowledge. Krishna says, he describes that knowledge as the king of all education. Raja Vidya, Raja Kunyam. So therefore, to be close to the spiritual master means to hear from the spiritual master. That opportunity is actually greater in Kali Yuga than any other age, because in previous ages, the disciple, at least the brahmachari, would live with the spiritual master from the age of 5 to 25. And the female disciples would stay at home and hear from their mother and father the instructions of their spiritual master. That was the tradition. So how often could you do that? From 5 to 25, and after that, you were working, perhaps your spiritual master was traveling. So it was a limited. But nowadays, by the grace of science, technology, we often condemn for various reasons. The good side is that now we have recordings of our spiritual master, videos of our spiritual master, recordings of and videos of that master who all masters sit at his feet, Srila Prabhupada. We have an advantage over previous ages. Even such a Traitantapura. Just like they say, there's a dark cloud and it's thundering and flooding the land with water. Sometimes there's a silver lining in a dark cloud. So the silver lining of being born into Kali Yuga is this, that we can have very close proximity to our spiritual master by hearing his lectures and his videos, hearing of his exploits, what he's doing, hearing the importance of our Guru Parampara, hearing the importance of our founder Acharya, but really the spiritual master is just the humble servant of. So we have to find the time to hear. We should never be so busy in life that we can't hear the Maha Mantra for 2 hours a day. We can't hear Srila Prabhupada's books for some time every day. And we can't hear or see our spiritual master do his lectures and videos some time of the week as well. That's our nourishment. If we're too busy with that, we're out of balance. Balance means, well, really it means 50-50. But that will come with maturity as one advances and appreciates hearing Shabda Brahman, hearing the Maha Mantra. That devotee will make time, just like Nartam. He makes time. He's a businessman, he has a family, he has many responsibilities on his head. He has a job, he has responsibilities to me personally. But despite that busy schedule, he's always up early every morning and he's chanting his rounds and he's doing puja and he's studying Bhagavatam. So why? Because he has that desire, he has that taste. So he's a senior disciple, so I would encourage the younger disciples to follow the example of the seniors. There's no harm in that. Just like in the letter that Prabhupada wrote to me, he gave several instructions. He said, chant your 16 rounds every day, follow the 4 regulative principles, and always follow in the footsteps of advanced devotees. So who were the advanced devotees when I was a new devotee? They were devotees who were 6 months older than me, because I joined in the pioneer beginning days of the movement. There was no one that was any older than three years older than me in Krishna consciousness. So, and we were in America. There were no sadhus in the Himalayas, no Babajis at Radhakund. There was, we were all that we had. So to follow in the footsteps of an advanced devotee meant to follow in the footsteps of my senior godbrothers, some of whom were only 6 months older than me in the movement. But that's the principle, because older doesn't necessarily mean full activity. Start chanting Hare Krishna. It's a miraculous process. Realizations come. The ability to share Krishna consciousness in the form of good example and preaching, that comes quickly because it's a great need. The need of the hour is to spread the Sankirtan movement. So it empowers devotees who are submissive and eager for service to be qualified representatives. So you should all look towards the senior members of our society, Prabhupada disciples, their representatives, and follow in the footsteps of advanced devotees. So amongst my disciples, I have devotees who have made nice advancement due to their Guru Nishta. So follow that example and spend time hearing and chanting. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Strong. There remains a strong urge for spiritual life, for spiritual enlightenment, because everywhere you look, there's pictures of Ram, Krishna, Shiva, Durga, Hanuman. There's constant reminder. It's in your face. It's what your ancestors have left for you. They're gone. Culture's somewhat gone, but there's many remnants of Vedic culture here. You can't forget it. And that's good enough. Like Prabhupada said, an elephant is so valuable when it's living. It can work hard and even participate in temple functions, carrying the deity. But even when the elephant's dead, it's still valuable. Ivory, we can get ivory. Now it's illegal because they kill the elephants, but in principle, ivory is a very amazing material. The skin of the elephant can be used. In so many ways, the elephant's valuable even when it's no longer living. So although Vedic culture has you could say died, there's remnants of it, just like the elephant is valuable to some degree after it passes away. So there are remnants of Vedic culture here, which is enough to rejuvenate the Krishna consciousness of this country. There's enough remnants of Vedic culture that you can, it's like we say in English, to the rise of the phoenix from the ashes. So build upon the great history of your country, honor and worship the great saints who are still present by their instructions, by their example, like we read in Maharaja, Ramayan, the history of our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. You have more than enough opportunities, especially in this country, There's a lot of Maya here, but again, there's a lot of Krishna consciousness. And then, therefore, we see the movement spreading very quickly here in his hometown, homeland. So take advantage of that. Become pure very quickly, because it's an urgent need. Many people are falling down into sense gratification here. It'd be good examples for them to follow, preach earnestly, and keep in touch with each other. It's like in the spiritual world, there's gopi ganas. There's different groups of gopis serving Krishna. So there's different groups of devotees serving Srila Prabhupada. That's fine. Variety is the spice of life. So you have that camaraderie in being my disciples. You know my mood. You know how I do things. You know my desire. And as I advance, you can also advance by listening to whatever I humbly present. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak on this day, 10th of December, that I got my letter from Prabhupada. And whatever I've learned from Prabhupada, I'm doing my best to share with you in my example and in my preaching. I keep praying to Prabhupada that I become more qualified, more pure, so that I can lead all of you eventually to his lotus feet and then back home, back to Godhead. So keep up the good work, keep hearing and chanting, and honor those devotees who you see have been successful in serving me. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
All glories to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Jai.
All glories to the fact you took birth in Bharat. You should become Krishna conscious faster than anywhere else in the world because you have such inspiration. You've got Vrindavan. You've got Mayapur. You've got Puri. You've got Ayodhya Dham. You've got Tirupati. You've got Sri Rangam. You've got so many places. You just walk any part of India you walk around. There's a Shiva Lingam. There's a Hanuman deity. There's Vishnu. There's Krishna. There's Lakshmi. There's Radha. You know, if you want to be Krishna conscious, you've got no excuse for not becoming Krishna.
Sima Prabhu to invite me to speak today. So it was very soft, and I missed out one point, like how I mentioned Krishna's walked all over Braj and he has spread that mercy, the Braj Renu. Same way, our dear Srila Prabhupada and Srila Guru, and they have distributed this mercy to everyone. And this slokas, today's sloka mentions such close associates of the Lord's. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Narottam Prabhu. And can you give it to Srila Guru? Narottam Prabhu, can you give it to Srila Gurudev once more?
No, sure. Srila Gurudev?
Yeah.
Srila Gurudev?
Wow.
We want to wish you a happy birthday together.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, 0. Happy
Happy
birthday.
Krishna conscious Gurudev.
Happy birthday to Srila Gurudev.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Sure.
Gurudev.
That's why that's
Happy birthday,
Srila Gurudeva ki jai.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev, for the wonderful address and class and blessings
Look,
and
We're just
inspiration.
entering Vrindavan. Look.
Oh,
Jai.
Jai.
Taking the turn here.
Um, Jai.
Jai. Vrindavan.
Sri Vrindavan Dham ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Jai,
Vrindavaneshwari
Jai.
Krishna Balaram Mandir ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Pranita ki.
Jai.
Shri Krishna Balaram ki.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki. Shri Raj Govardhan ki.
Jai.
See the sign, look.
Jai. Thank you.
Yeah, they can see it. Chalo. Vrindavan Dham ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much,
Back to
Srila
you,
Gurudev.
Govincharan Prabhu. Back
Okay.
to you, Govincharan Prabhu. Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Narottam
Narottam
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Thank you,
We are going to
Thank you so much,
read the actual letter that Srila Gurudev received from Prabhupada,
Thank you, Shri
which he
Gurudev.
has quoted in one of
I
his
hope this was the best
chapters.
advice to all of you people.
Yes,
Of course, obviously.
yes.
Actually, everyone can go on mute. I'll tell a small pastime now. When Srila Gurudev came out of the airport, so I asked Srila Gurudev and Kartamashi, I said, I have to speak now. So should I go in the luggage car? So Kartamashi immediately said, oh, you can, or maybe you can just speak for some time. And, that's it. Then Srila Gurudev intervened. He said, no. You give your full class, he said. And then I will come in the end. Yeah. It is very
Yeah.
difficult to speak in Srila Gurudev anyway. I made a humble affair. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. So Gurudev is the master of all surprises, right?
Yes.
we were planning for some surprise, but Gurudev topped it all. So
Yes, yeah.
yes. So now we will read the diary chapter of Gurudev, which he wrote, in which he has quoted this letter. So Parashuram Prabhu, can you please go ahead? And Namaras Prabhu, can you please share the chapter? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Chapter 7, The Most Appropriate Plan.
This is
August
from
20,
volume 15. Yeah.
Diary Chapter Volume 15, Chapter 7, The Most Appropriate Plan. August 23rd, 2019. By Srila Gurudev. Dearest Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you. This year marks the 123rd anniversary of your appearance in this world. Somehow, by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord, I am connected to you through initiation as one of your spiritual sons. This can never be disputed in the chronicles of time because on December 10th, 1971, you wrote the following to my temple president. Quote, I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated November 22, 1971, along with beads and letters from several devotees at Detroit Temple. I am very glad to accept these students as my duly initiated disciples, and their names shall be as follows. Brian Tibbets, Indradyumna Das, Eileen Tibbets, Kripamai Dasi, Heidi Paiva, Sri Shakti Dasi. These are all very nice boys and girls, and I have very much appreciated their attitudes of devotion and surrender as displayed in their letters to me. I have replied them under separate cover. Their beads, duly chanted by me, are sent under separate post. I hope this meets you in good health and cheerful mood. Your well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada, I consider December 10th, 1971, the day you wrote to accept me as your disciple, to be my actual birthday, for it was on that day that I began my spiritual life in earnest. In a lecture in Vrindavan, you quoted a verse that corroborates this perspective. Janame janame sabipitta mata paya, Krishna Guru nahi mile, baja ari hai. Under ordinary circumstances, one's own father and mother are worshipable, but in every species, one gets a father and mother. Far rarer is to get Guru and Krishna. The spiritual master can bestow Prema Bhakti to those who have attained his mercy. Therefore, he is the topmost father, mother, and friend of everyone. Srila Prabhupada lecture, September 9, 1975, Vrindavan. Verse quoted from Prema Vivarta by Jagadananda Pandit. Coincidentally, in that initiation letter, you expressed your desire for Krishna conscious festivals to be held far and wide, a statement that planted a seed in my heart. Quote, I am pleased by your festival plan for the colleges all over the state. Actually, this roving Sankirtan and college program is the most appropriate plan for spreading Krishna consciousness and preaching. I have just received intimation from Rupanuga of a very large festival he is planning for Central Park. His conjecture is very nice, and I want that many such festivals should be held in every city. You then gave a hint as to how to organize such festivals. Quote, I have one suggestion. Make a tent in that backyard garden to accommodate many guests and provide profuse prasadam to all. As the years went by, I often meditated on those instructions and worked on developing and expanding the idea of holding large outdoor festivals to accommodate many guests and provide profuse prasadam to all. Srila Prabhupada, you will be very pleased to know that this year we distributed over 160,000 plates of delicious prasadam from our food for Fruit for Peace tent at the Polish Woodstock Festival that was as profuse as we could manage at this moment in history. I want to continue expanding on your desire to hold such festivals in as many cities as possible, and I'm confident I can do it. For inherent in the spiritual master's instruction is the secret to success. You once said, quote, I took that order of my spiritual master very seriously, but I did not think that I will have to do such and such thing. I was at that time a householder, but this is the arrangement of Krishna. If we strictly try to serve the spiritual master's order, then Krishna will give us all facilities. That is the secret. Purport on the CD entitled Prayers to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. I'm very happy doing this service for you, Srila Prabhupada, along with a dedicated team of disciples, friends, and well wishers. I cannot think of anything else I would rather do. To be frank, I feel I'm already back home in the spiritual world by doing this service. I was elated to read a comment recently by Srila Baladeva Vidyabhushan which confirmed my sentiment. He writes that the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya are especially appreciable in the material world because of the backdrop of material existence which does not exist in the spiritual world. He gives the example that when a diamond sits on a black cloth, its brilliance is more pronounced. My dear Lord and Master, though I know our goal is to go back home, back to Godhead, I am hesitant to ask for your blessings to go there when I have not adequately fulfilled your desire in this world for a roving Sankirtan party and festivals to be held in every city. You clearly describe such outreach programs as the most appropriate plan for spreading Krishna consciousness and preaching. Of course, all the programs you introduced are most appropriate for the people of this age. I feel so fortunate that on the day of my spiritual birth, you gave a hint as to which one I could take up. I stand ready and willing to execute your plans for many births to come. This sentiment is one I have imbibed from you, Srila Prabhupada, for you are the foremost of all preachers in this world. The, just this morning, I came across a purport in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in which I felt you were speaking directly to me. Quote, after being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciple should unhesitatingly think about the instructions or orders of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. This is also the verdict of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who, while explaining a verse of Bhagavad Gita, points out that the order of the spiritual master is a life substance of the disciple. The disciple should not consider whether he is going back home, back to Godhead. His first business should be to execute the order of a spiritual master. Thus, a disciple should always meditate on the order of the spiritual master, and that is perfectional meditation. Not only should he meditate upon that order, but he should find out the means by which he can perfectly worship and execute it. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.24.15 Purport. Surely it will take many lifetimes to implement such festivals in every city, especially now in the age of Kali. But whatever challenges there are, whatever austerities are involved, and whatever inconveniences I might suffer, these are all a small price to pay for the precious and incomparable gifts you have bestowed upon me in this lifetime. Each morning, upon waking, and each night before resting, I slowly uh, uh, repeat the following verse, which serves to remind me of all you have bestowed upon me. Namashreshtam manoapi sachiputram matra swarupam rupam tasyagrajam urupurim maturim goshtavatim radha kundam girivaram aho radhika madhavasam prapto yasya pratita kripaya shri gurum tam natosmi. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Shachimata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and his older brother Sanatan Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radhakund and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Sri Radhika and Madhava and Vrindavan. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Mukta Charita. Srila Prabhupada, my prayer is that the very same verse will be on my lips when I close my eyes for the last time in this life, and that it will manifest again within my heart of hearts when I open my eyes for the first time in my next life, wherever that may be in our good Lord's creation. My dear spiritual master, please never leave me. May I always remain by your side, birth after birth, as you traverse the 14 worlds, flooding them with the ecstasy of Krishna consciousness. Like your own spiritual master, you are an ocean of compassion. In glorification of him, you once said, quote, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came into this world to execute the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he executed it, and when it was required, he left this place and went to another place to do the same business. Srila Prabhupada, I am prepared to join you wherever you go in service to your spiritual master. But should you return to Goloka while I remain here, I am confident that you will not forget me. My connection to you is through the service you wrote about in my initiation letter, to hold large events in the central parks of as many cities as there are on the face of the earth. When that great task is done, and done well, I will look up to the sky and say, Your order has been fulfilled, my dear master. Pray tell me what is your next command. Perhaps at that time you will appear, and taking me by the hand, lead me on to Sri Vrindavan Dham in the spiritual sky. You wrote in a letter to a god brother of mine, My dear Brahmananda, regarding your request for your deliverance from the clutches of Maya, please rest assured of being delivered. So far as I am concerned in relationship with my disciples who are so kindly cooperating with me in the matter of my rendering service to my spiritual master, for them I am always ready to come back from Goloka Vrindavan if they are not delivered along with me. So don't be worried about the clutches of Maya. Be fixed up in your determination and go on serving the Supreme Lord Krishna with determination as you are already doing. Srila Prabhupada's letter to Brahmananda, November 15, 1969. The older I get, Srila Prabhupada, the more I feel your personal presence in my life. When I was younger, it was merely a point of philosophy that the departed spiritual preceptor continues guiding the disciple. Now, in my old age, as I accept more and more responsibilities on your behalf, That philosophical point has matured into the blissful realization that you are guiding me at every step. You confirmed this many years ago. One of my God brothers wrote to you, quote, "My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances at your divine lotus feet. We fervently pray that your divine grace continues to remain in this world because we need your personal guidance." Even when Lord Krishna disappeared, Arjuna lost all strength temporarily. You replied, quote, "I shall remain your personal guide, physically present or not physically, as I am getting personal guidance from my Guru Maharaj." Letter to a disciple, Vrindavan, July 14, 1977. O Savior of the fallen souls, let me put aside these noble sentiments for now, so that the tears of joy they bring forth from my eyes do not disturb my service to you. A letter has just arrived on my desk with an invitation to do a festival in Ukraine. This is a conjecture, as you put it in my initiation letter, that will certainly prove very nice. I pray to always maintain the same attitude of devotion and surrender as displayed in my original letter to you, so that I may develop all the good qualities necessary to fulfill your every order. Samadhi Shatka Pradavaibhavabhyam Samadhidana Vrata Dikshitabhyam Ramadavangri Sthira Bhakti Dabhyam Namo Namah Shri Guru Padukabhyam. I offer my obeisances to the two shoes of my Guru, which are initiated in the vow of giving beautiful devotional realizations to the disciple, which bestow fixed devotion onto the feet of the husband of Lakshmi Devi, and which bestow all good qualities onto the disciple. Guru Paduka Stotram, verse 7. In the dust of your lotus feet, your servant, Indradyumna Swami. Srila Guru. Peace, Jai.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful reading. You want to share some realizations from this chapter? Namras Prabhu, you can stop sharing. You are muted, I think, Parasuram Prabhu.
Is Praji. Praji, Srila Gurudev's mood is that he wants to serve Prabhupada, and wants festival, once the festival, that roving Sankirtan festival in every city that is there in the face of the earth. So uh, that is something which is very inspiring. And as Srila Gurudev had uh, instructed today, that we should quickly get purified so that we can serve the same instructions and in the same mood. So that is something that that struck when I was reading this verse.
Very, very nice point. Yeah, actually, this is such a nice segue, because tomorrow, next week, we can actually hear from Gurudev his 5-year plan, which is all about increasing the number of festivals in various countries, especially US and India and Australia, that he's planning. So whatever part we can play there, as Gurudev says in his lecture, in his letter, it's our life and soul. That's how we should take it. Seva Swarup Prabhu, you want to share any realizations?
Hare Krishna, Puji Dandavana. So, through I just same point which Parshuram reiterated. Like I want to just go into details that how Srila Gurudev was quoting the numbers of book he distributed during that time, and how specific is for all festivals. So wherever is like in other letters we see he writes that in Poland like 750,000 people passed through the gates of the festival. So uh, he wants to offer all these festivals to Prabhupada in this preaching mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the verse which he quoted was like, we have got this service of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just because of mercy of Srila Gurudev. and Srila Prabhupada, and same, we also got the service opportunity which we are doing to him just because of mercy of Srila Gurudev. So he is giving us service and he is also giving us the capacity to serve. Both he is giving.
Yes, beautiful point. In fact, that is one of the points that was Gurudev was mentioning in his lecture, that, unless he creates these services, where is the engagement for us? What is our path for us to, get purified and get connected with Krishna, right? So that's why all the services are there. So it's up to each of us how much we take it up, so that we can advance in our own spiritual life. Wonderful. Mehak, you want to share some realizations?
Yes, Prabhu. So, my realizations are also coming from the point of view of my personal, experience. So, being having a personal association of a lot of sannyasis, I have always felt that there is always a confusion between Bapu and Vani, and I think this lecture and even Kartik Parikrama was very clear in making me realize that how Vani is very important and we should grab onto it, because even though I've heard it in all the scriptures and from various people, it is very difficult for me to realize it. But when Gurudev says it, it kind of becomes even, it clarifies everything and makes sure that Vani is very important. Hearing his lecture is way more important than Vapu, and then obviously serving, because that's what his Vani says.
Wonderful. Beautiful point. And Sri Rangapuri Prabhu, please go ahead.
This is Rasika. I'm staying with them. So it was so nice to hear Gurudev speak to all of us, and as you all quoted that point, quickly purify, right? That's very, very important, because we might think, I think that there is so much time, this can be done, that can be done. But Gurudev was talking to us recently about his 5-year plan, because Gurudev is turning 75 in May 2024. So he said, the next 5 years are the most crucial part of my life, and I want to do something significant for Srila Prabhupada. See, someone else at his age might think 75 years he has done, he has served. So what more he needs to do? But Gurudev feels the next 5 years, he calls it like a cultural conquest. He wants to spread Krishna consciousness through culture in a mass way. So he has big ideas, vision, plans. So, we all, should try to assist in it in whatever way possible, and pray to Krishna to increase our capacity as well. Because only when we pray to serve more, then Krishna will increase our capacity, because our capacity right now might be limited. But then once, if it's put into use for Srila Gurudev, then Krishna will also increase the capacity. So I was just thinking, I just sent a message to Gurudev also, that it was very touching to hear him speak. So I just pray on this auspicious day that we all can become very nice, useful instruments in the hands of Srila Gurudev for the next 5 years and more. For the next 5 years is the most crucial time. Haribu.
Thank you, Rasika. That reminds me of the credit card limit. Only if you reach your limit, then they increase the limit. Otherwise, they say you already have enough limit for spend that. So
True.
yeah, that's today's Namrasa Prabhu. Are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how Krishna inspired you to choose that Guru Parampara song? You didn't realize, right?
Indeed. Actually, I'm sorry. My video was off for like a minute because my mother just came and she was like, "Tell me the name of the bhajan you were singing." She said she wants to learn it.
Right. It's such a, like today we were planning for this Gurudev's birthday, and you are like
Indeed.
yeah, that's
A
like
mini Vyas Puja.
yeah, that's like it's like a you can see how Krishna actually works, you know. In fact, I didn't expect Gurudev to join. So it's, and also this diary chapter, it actually, I didn't remember this date actually. Recently, many devotees were working on, I think yeah, including Namras Prabhu and Ananda Kund Prabhu and several others are adding the chapters from the PDF books to the Indradyumnaswami.com website, so that it's easily searchable and, you know, linkable and all that. So I just saw it in one of the posts and then they saw the date, and I was like surprised how Krishna is showing everything, and then, you know, Gurudev joined, and it's like everything was so spontaneous, and you just see, you know, how Krishna is reciprocating with all our desires to serve Gurudev. So, and the today's, I mean, the Gurudev's offering to Prabhupada is so pregnant with this Guru Nishta and how we should be actually aspiring to take the instruction as our life and soul and then dedicate. And another amazing thing is how even at the, you know, like this was like what, 52 years ago, when Gurudev got that letter about initiation, Prabhupada alluded to the instruction of doing the festivals, you know, and we think, you know, it just happened, but you can see the seed has been planted by Prabhupada 52 years ago, and Gurudev developed it. So that's the entire secret of spiritual life, is depending on how sincerely we want to align our life. It's not like service to Gurudev happens along with all other things, you know. It's we have to consciously prioritize and make it our life, and then the rest of the life will be molded around it. That's how we should, especially after initiation, that's how we should think of our life as the second birth, as being you know, fully engaged in service of Guru and Krishna, and then we'll get all this wonderful realizations and mercy and advancement. So anybody else want to share?
Kavinchan, I wanted to add one more thing.
Please.
And Gurudev in this class was stressing so much about hearing, you know, how important it is for all of us to, you know, hear from spiritual master, hear from others. So in that context, even Mayak also was telling about Vani. So I just wanted to add a point that if there is a chance to get the Vapu association, we should definitely try to do that. The context I'm saying this is, we just finalized Gurudev's Indian tour from January 17 to February 19. I'll be sending the flyer soon. So Gurudev is coming to many of the bigger cities in India. And if it's your city or if you're a nearby city, everyone should try to take as much association to listen, participate, serve, because there'll be many, many service opportunities. So Vani Seva is definitely important when it's not close by, but when there is a chance, we should take full advantage of Vapu Seva. Just wanted to add that.
Yeah, just 1 second. Thank you. And let's launch the flyer right now.
Okay. Gurudev approved it today. I sent it to him. You can launch it here.
So this is something Parashuram Prabhu worked so hard to make it.
And Gurudev liked it without giving a lot of feedback. So I was so happy that, you know, I was telling Parashuram Prabhu that, you know, your perfection is achieved.
We'll go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wonderful.
such a nice flyer, actually.
Yeah, and it captures the mood of Vrindavan. You can see, you know, the natural beauty, and so aesthetically done. Thank you.
Big cities of India: Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore.
Right. Okay. So, okay, maybe another one realization and then we can wrap up. Anybody else wants to share?
I heard one point, Govind Charan Prabhu. Recent. I'm traveling actually from GEV to Mumbai. So one point Srila Gurudev was stressing in one lecture of Govardhan.
So the series of lectures on Govardhan. So he was saying that someone saying that follow your heart. So there he was mentioning that don't follow your heart because our heart is filled with anarthas. So follow great souls. So it reminds me that how we should focus on Gurudev's mood and try to follow him rather than following heart, because there is always confusion between follow mind and heart. So I could really connect with that point, that how we should not follow our heart as long as we are stuck up in the Anartha Nivritti stage. So this has really inspired, that single point has really inspired me for the couple of weeks.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Aditya Prabhu, you raised your hand. You want to share something? Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I was hearing to one of the lectures of Srila Gurudev, Gopal of Govardhan, which he took like two or 3 years ago in Vrindavan. So he was speaking about Vajranath. He was telling that how our acharyas, they have given us so many things. He was telling that how Vajranath, he like restored all the lost places of Vrindavan, and how Sriman Mahaprabhu, he also opened Vrindavan for all of us. So I could relate the same thing which happened today in meeting. Like Narottam Prabhu, he just tried his best that we all get this, we all get like association of Srila Gurudev. So I could relate this thing to this, and I also was meditating on that Guru Paduka Stotra, verse number 7, in which it was like mentioned that all glories to the shoes of my spiritual master, which can bestow the pure devotional service unto the husband of Lakshmi Devi. So, and Gurudevi also says like love is in the details. So I really like, I was very inspired to read this, because this is the first time that I saw something like this, that there is a stotra which even like glorifies the lotus feet and the shoes of our spiritual master. So it was very special, and I'm really thankful to all of you that it just happened today. I'm feeling very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Amazing. Also, we'll hear from Priyacharan Mataji. She joined. I just noticed we didn't call upon her. Priyacharan?
Sorry, I'm just driving also to pick up Gora, but this was so nice. Like, I'll probably say it separately also. Like, yesterday I was just talking to one of her god sister, like how, where she was having a dilemma where she might not be able to attend the sadhu sangha she was sharing, and I was sharing like, no, we should really make it a point to join. And then later last night I was thinking, did I not say something right? And this morning when Gurudev actually spoke and he said, like, I'm taking so much effort to give the classes, and we all should hear, and when it is possible we should just meet him, he was saying. And Rasika Mataji also iterated on that. I was like, okay, this is a confirmation that we should meet no matter what. It was really amazing, like how Gurudev, he's very focused on his service to Prabhupada. So every time, even when he talks, even for just 5 minutes, he's making sure that we are all aligned in his mood to serve accordingly. So, it's, I don't know how to say, but it's super sweet and special to just get reassured again and again from Gurudev by example and by words, to be aligned in the consciousness of the spiritual master.
Thank you. Thank you, Priyacharan, for all your services as well. And and also this shows how, if you sincerely attend every class, you don't know which class Gurudev will join, right? So it's a reward of such, I know, because it's hard to take out a fixed time every week, but it requires some discipline and austerity and some sacrifice to, let go of other things and prioritize it. But you can see the fruit of it coming through.
Including Prabhu, although I don't technically belong or whatever, but still, thank you so much.
Thank you. Pankaj Kapoor, please go ahead.
NRI
Yes,
quota.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It's nice to meet you all once again. And as today Srila Gurudev talked about like when he joined Krishna consciousness in his early days. So as per the instruction of his Guru, that he has to follow Srila Prabhupada representative, and those representatives was only 3 months or 6 months older than him. But what he emphasized more on that we must follow the representatives of Dasana Das Pratha, and in this way we can align the thoughts of the Srila Gurudev in a true way, and we can get into the mood in a much faster way. And thinking in that way that I must follow Narottam Prabhuji, Govind Charan Prabhuji, and so many other senior devotees, so that as a new entrant, I can get aligned with the Gurudev thought and mood and understanding very quickly.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's such a nice and humble realization you shared. Thank you. And yeah, I think with that we'll wind up. And also one thing I wanted to add is this Srimad Bhagavatam verse we read today. That is a verse that Srila Gurudev spoke on when he came to our house for the first time in 2002 March. So, remember Rasika? He gave a class in the house. It was just like a 4 of us, Shri Prahlad Prabhu, Gurudev, me and you, and maybe one more person. He just woke up in the morning and did the Bhagavatam class, and that was this verse. So it's very special verse, and it's nice to have Gurudev's association once again today on this day. Yeah, so many wonderful things. Being so excited and so grateful for. And again, thank you all for giving us this opportunity to participate in your association and feel so youthful. In fact, yesterday I was here at the temple and all the kids were sitting, and Janavi Harrison, who moved here, she was sitting there, and then I was sitting next to her. I just took my plate and went to her and said, I want to join you. And she said, I'm sitting here because in their association, I feel so youthful. So I am thinking the same, in your association, we all feel so youthful and remember our initial days of Krishna consciousness and how, like we feel that excitement and, desire to serve and surrender. And you're all helping us in that as well. So thank you all again. Vansha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय
जय
जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय।